If all is pinting, then everyone's pent, and no one is pent instead. If all is pinting, no one is pent, because everyone's pent and no one is pent instead. Who is seeking the penthouse? That one is pent. All is bending, and all is bent. But since all is bent, nobody is bent instead, for all is bending, so nobody is bent. United order instead of tithing. All is spending, I said. So all is spending, and everything's spent, so nothing is spent instead. So all is spending, and nothing is spent, because all that is all that is. And that's the united order. One more time, why does the tree of life in the Kabbalistic view have 3 pillars? And why do I see, again, 7 heads and 10 horns? Every head, every angel has its horn. We're not talking about these horns now. We're talking about what an angel has, like you show Moroni on the tops of the temples, or like Michael blowing his horn. I see 10 horns, but I only see 7 heads. And I suggest you take those pillars and bring them together, please. This is not lightning, and I can see right through it. That is not the truth instead. That is true, nevertheless. It is not the truth instead. In some circles, that is called the beast. Again, why are there those extra 3 horns? I see no heads there. Bring them together into the trunk, what you call the middle pillar, and stop making it so ill. It is the air, and it is pure, and all is air. I love gender, but the one who loves gender most loves why gender is, and doesn't worship gender instead, but why it is. Another way for us to have separation here, in what I call outer darkness. This is a form of darkness here, especially when people start worshiping gender instead. Imagine, if you will, one more time, I know we've done this, but I want to bring it back home one more time. A piece of paper is a good analogy. You know, it is one thing. It is one thing. And as we fold it one more time, as we fold that paper in half, now watch this. It is one paper. Now tell me when it becomes 2 and when the increase is. As I fold it, it becomes 2. Yet the increase is at the same moment of which it is folded. So, there is one sun, and it folds. And there is its increase and its line, its L, its 1. This to me is like the Father who is a son and his son. I know we like to see this as now, Mama and Daddy. But it's said in the Gospel of John that God was with the Word and is the Word. And it is one. That is why this is not a betting match. We don't take chances. We're not sitting around a poker table. All is poking, and all are poked, so no one's poked instead. All is spearing, and everyone is speared, but nobody is speared instead. I am not a bettor, I say. I fold. What do you do during poker? Are you afraid to fold? If you are not betting, and you are no better, I fold. Those that want to be better don't fold. they don't fold. But yet you said there's one fold and one shepherd. All those that are not betters fold, and in that is their increase. I want to talk for just a few seconds about the word spirit. I said, all is spearing, so everyone's speared, but nobody is speared instead. That is why we do not call one God instead of another. Who did you want to vote for again instead? Christ said, glory be to the Father. There is one Spirit. It is it. It is the law, and its body is the all. And in that body, we all are. For every body is in every body. All is one. Believe it or not. And that does not negate nor cancel you out. Nevertheless, all is spearing. So all is speared, but nobody is speared instead. All is poking, so everyone's poked, but nobody is poked instead. All is nailing, so everyone's nailed, but nobody is nailed instead. Spirit, I like that word. I sometimes wonder where it came from. Do you actually think we penetrate something? Some people do. Even in the Kabbalah, and I'm not going to get into that, Mormons, and so don't. I know. They have Keter and the feminine, and it sends it through its own self like a spark. Do you know how big the fire is that is burning? The Spirit of God is like a fire burning. Sometimes I think it sends its whole self in. Who is this woman over here? Sometimes I wonder, does she let me out? Does she turn the prism into a prison? I don't know, but sometimes I wonder. But I don't believe the absolute truth is that it actually penetrates at all. Nevertheless, that is true. I'm speaking to you from my iPad. That is true. Nevertheless, it is not the truth. For everything that is true has not true as well in order to make it true. If something is true, then it has the opposite, not true. But even those two things are one concept if you look closely, for you can't have one end of the stick without the other. It is almost like one end of the stick justifies the other, as both seek to justify themselves. Although they are just degrees, aren't they? Degrees are very important. Sometimes I wonder, is the universe turning into quite a site, a university? You ever look at the word site? C-I-T-E. In some ways, we could call that a city. Are we all trying to earn our higher degrees? Knowledge is good. Nevertheless, it does not take the place of life. Somebody with the highest degree is not a child. Children come into the world and they do not have much knowledge at all. Yet I tell you, God is wholly in them and in them as well. That is why they are innocent. The truth is, all is innocent. We are not in something called a cent, C-E-N-T, just a fraction of the self. All that is not in a fraction of itself. It seems like that, doesn't it? We have nothing to make the body out of, but the soul thing that is as well. The soul. And that which is in it is the soul. But I truly believe all is soul. Now, some people say that the spirit is above the soul, and the soul is in the matter. I believe that too. Nevertheless, all is soul.